This video is me telling you my top 10 TV shows of 2015. I love TV shows. They are my favorite thing of everything. This past year I probably watched, I have no idea how many TV shows. I want to say maybe around like 80. When I was writing the list, it ended up taking 2 pages. So here we have my top 10. Let's start with our honorable mention. And the honorable mention goes to Galavant. It's a comedy musical taking place in the medieval times. There were only 4 episodes the very first season it came out, which was last year. And it surprisingly went very well. It was one of those TV shows where you don't expect it to be good, but it actually ends up being incredibly good. It is hysterical. The guy who plays the king is the funniest person. He's my favorite character. I wish I could remember his name, but it's King something. And the songs are so good too. I really like the songs. But I just love musicals, so any song that sounds like it's from a musical I will love. Number 10. We've got Married at First Sight. I am not a fan of reality TV shows. I'm just not. I can't do them. But Married at First Sight, I can do. I watched the first season, I watched the second season with my roommate, and then I made her watch the first season because she actually really loved the second season. So she watched the first season, and we're now watching the third season. It's so addicting. It's a guilty pleasure just because it is reality TV, and reality TV is never good or even truthful. But this one feels like it's very real. When most reality TV shows, I can tell they're scripted, which is why I don't like reality TV shows so much. I can tell they're scripted. But this one does not feel scripted. There may be some parts that feel a little bit scripted, but most of it seems very real and genuine. And basically the concept of this show is they pair up 3 couples. We have these love experts. So we've got like a sexologist, a psychologist, some other ologists. Then we get 3 couples, and then they get legally married to each other. They don't even know each other, so you're marrying a stranger, and you have to be married for, I believe it's 6 weeks. And at the end of the 6 weeks, you decide if you want to stay married or if you want to get a divorce. It's like the modern version of arranged marriages. But they just want to see if love is possible when you force people into a situation where they have to where they have to make it work. But yeah, you just get so invested to these people, and you want everything to work out. You want them to stay married, you want them to be together forever. We'll see how this one goes. This season is already starting out to be really good. Number 9, I have The 100. Anything and everything the CW does, to me, is gold and genius. Except for The Messengers. I could not do The Messengers. But The 100 I really loved. The first season wasn't that great, but the second season, which aired in 2015, was so good. Earth is contaminated by some sort of chemicals in the air, and people 100 years ago had to leave and move to space. So it's been 100 years, and now the air should be fine. They sent 100 delinquent kids to Earth to test to see if the air is actually livable now. The air is fine, but Earth is way different now. No one thought there were any survivors on Earth from the chemicals and all that, but it turns out there are survivors. There's a lot of survivors, and they're trying to kill the kids. And it kind of turns into Lord of the Flies for a little bit as well, with each other. And it's, like I said, the first season, not that great, but second season is where it really gets good. So, 100. Check it out. Number 8, I have another lovely CW show, and that is Jane the Virgin. Jane the Virgin is, again, one of those shows that, I didn't think I was gonna like. Turns out I love it. And we're in the 3rd season right now. I think we're in the 3rd season right now. The season that aired in 2015 was the second season, but every season for this show has just been phenomenal. Jane the Virgin is basically about this girl named Jane. She gets accidentally inseminated, and so now she is pregnant with actually her boss's child. And it is so filled with drama. It is like a comedic telenovela. It is a comedy telenovela. The some parts are in Spanish because it's a Spanish family, but it has a lot of heart, which I really love. And Gina Rodriguez is amazing. She is the one who plays Jane, and she is phenomenal. I mean, she has won 2 Golden Globes, so I think I'm valid in saying that she's phenomenal. But yeah, but there's so much drama and secrets, lies and deceit and just everything that you can think of. It's like a soap opera. Number 7, I have Wayward Pines, which unfortunately got canceled. I'm very upset it got canceled. I was expecting more than just 1 season. But this is a brand new show that aired in 2015. I think I loved it because it did a lot of things that most TV shows don't do, which is, I don't want to give anything away by saying it though. Basically, a lot of people die. Sorry for spoilers. And most shows don't, I've never known a TV show to do that. So I was really excited to see where the second season was gonna go, but I guess not, especially with how they ended it on the freaking cliffhanger that they had. This is a very complicated show. Very confusing, but this guy, played by Matt Dillon, he gets in a car accident, but then somehow when he wakes up, ends up in this whole new town that he can't seem to escape from. But back home, his wife and child are trying to find out what happened to him, where he is. They find him, they figure out all the secrets and the lies that are happening in this town. It's so good though. Ugh, why did they cancel it? I loved it. Number 6, I had The Goldbergs. This is a comedy on ABC. It is my favorite comedy of all time. Barry is my favorite character. I also love Beverly. This is just a comedy about a family. This is actually a real family in real life. They're actually from my hometown. But what I love so much about the episodes that at the end of every episode they show like real family footage, like real video footage from what really happened and connecting it to the episode. I laugh like maybe every other minute watching this TV show. I love it. But yeah, so it's basically just a family living in the 80s, going through life. And the mom is super overprotective. The dad is super nonchalant and really doesn't care. Barry is an idiot and a moron. Erica, the eldest daughter, / only daughter, is like kind of the only sane one in the family. Adam Goldberg is a geek. Then there's Grandpa, who's like a schmoozer. It's super funny. It's a super fun time. Go watch it. Number 5, I have House of Cards. House of Cards. House of Cards. This is a Netflix show. It's basically about Frank Underwood and what he does in the politics world. It's the best way I think I can describe it. But I just love how he narrates the show. It's so funny, even though I don't think it's meant to be funny. But it actually does help, because there are times where, like, in a scene's going on, and then he'll just pause and turn to the camera and be like, so this is basically what's happening. You got it? You understand? Okay, back to what's going on. And I'm just like, yes, okay, I understand what's going on now. Thank you, Kevin Spacey, who plays Frank Underwood. The writing is phenomenal. The acting is phenomenal. It's just, it's so well done, and I love it. But I have still only watched 6 episodes. The first 6 episodes of the first season. And I still put it on my list because it's just that good. It's that good. Number 4, I have Grand Hotel. Or Grand Hotel. This is another Netflix show. It's probably not a Netflix show, but it's on Netflix. It's in Spanish, actually, with English subtitles. So if you can handle that, go for it. I will say, I didn't think I would handle the subtitles as well with the Spanish speaking, but you get so sucked in that you don't even care. You just want to know what's going on. It's basically like the Spanish version of Downton Abbey with murder. And it's very good. Basically, this guy, Julio, is his name. Very good looking man. He is trying to find his sister because his sister hasn't wrote him a letter in a while. So he goes to the hotel that she works at to kind of talk to her. He's like, I'm in town, I'm gonna stop by and see how she's doing. Finds out that she is not there and she has been missing for quite a while, and apparently like she quit or something. And he's like, well, that doesn't make sense because she would have sent me a letter about that. He finds out that there's something more to this. So he decides to pose as the new butler so that way he can have the ins and outs of the hotel to find out what happened to his sister, because he finds out that she was murdered. Don't worry, I'm not giving anything away. That's the very beginning of the first episode. You see her get murdered. You see the underclass and all their drama, as well as the upper class, like the people who go to the hotel and the people who own the hotel, like family. You see all their drama that happens. There's a lot that happens, a lot that goes on. I've only watched the first season. I believe there are 3 seasons on Netflix. Number 3, Quantico. This was a new show this year on ABC. You mainly follow one character in this show, and she's going through basically spy school is what I like to call it. She gets accepted into this program to become a CIA agent. It goes back and forth between present time and the time that she was in school. Because in the present time, she is framed for a terrorist attack. Everyone thinks it's her when it wasn't her. So she is now trying to solve who did it because it was someone in her class. It took so many twists and turns, and the ending, by the beginning of the last episode, I kind of figured out who it was. But it took a while. You kept like going back and forth between, oh, I think it's this person. Oh no, it might be that person. Oh, you know, that person's good. Okay, well then I think it's this other person. You just keep going back and forth. I can't wait for the second season. I think there's going to be a second season because a lot of people really liked this show. For number 2, I have Man in the High Castle. This show. This is an Amazon Prime show. How do I explain this show? This show is based off of a book by Philip K. Dick. This show takes place in the 60s, but this version of the 60s is where the Nazis won World War II. And so America is half Nazis, half Japan. So yeah, Man in the High Castle. Really, honestly, check it out. It is phenomenal. Because just even the writing and the acting is very, very well done. We're at number 1 now, and number 1 goes to Bob's Burgers! Bob's Burgers. Oh my god. Bob's Burgers is a Fox show, but they have the 4 seasons on Netflix, and that's how I've been watching it. The first time I watched this show, we were all just hanging out here, and we just decided to just put on a TV show, and so our friend Ed was like, let's watch Bob's Burgers. And it just kind of seemed like a Family Guy, South Park kind of TV show, and I'm not really a fan of those shows. I was laughing the entire episode. I've just been watching like every episode of Bob's Burgers. It is hysterical. A lot funnier than I thought it would be. Tina is my favorite. I love Tina and how she says the weirdest things so deadpan. This show it's a cartoon for adults. Don't let your kids watch this show. The dad is Bob and he owns a burger place. They have 3 kids. It's just about this family that live their lives, but they are like the weirdest people ever. They're so weird, which makes it so funny. That is the end of my top 10 of TV show 2015. You can check out my top 10 movies of 2015 and my top 10 books of 2015. I definitely recommend you check those out. They're really cool. We're done. I can now eat. I'm gonna go eat food now. Woo! Yay! Alright. Bye guys!